Weston, I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 60 of the regular season. Astros win 7-1 over the Boston Red Sox, and boy, this was a really exciting first 2 innings of baseball. And then from there on, it was sort of just casual Framber Valdang domination. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Framber Valdang gets the start, and he was masterful. 7 1/3, 1 run, 0 walks. Which really shocked me. He was in total control tonight, and I'll get to that in a moment. But offense-wise, first inning, Carlos Correa hits a home run, I guess. I think. Who's to say, really? It was high. It was deep. I heard that it was a 46-degree launch angle, which is comical. I think the MLB average is like 27 or 30, so the fact that it was a 46 is kind of insane, but it got out by the slimmest of margins. I read the distance was 310, which is, I don't like to say the term cheap home run because they all score the same, but that is as cheap a home run as you can get. Only one stadium that has gone in, and that is Boston, and it just barely scraped out. So that made it 1-0. And then in the second, it was a bit of an offensive outburst for the Astros. Michael Brantley, in his return, would hit a double to lead off. Then Tucker would double. Great to see him paying off and doing really well. Maldonado would single to score a pair to make it a 3-0 ball game. After that, Straw would walk. Altuve would strike out looking. He didn't have a very good night, but he walked a couple of times. Correa would then double, which was a second hit and a second RBI, just like that. So he had a fantastic night tonight. Correa did. That was 4-0. This was a little bit of weird thinking on the Red Sox half. So they intentionally walked Bregman to load the bases for Yordan Alvarez. And before you say, well, Weston, what about platooning? I would say it's Yordan Alvarez with the bases loaded. Like, I don't want to face that if I'm a pitcher. I shake that sign off if I see it from the dugout. I'm like, no, that's not what you're saying. Pitch to him, that's what I heard. That's asking to get hurt. They ended up actually sort of getting out of it with the best case scenario. Like, he just hit him. I'm not even sure if it hit him, really. But it just breezes, barely nudges him. 5-0 Astros after that. Yuli would single to make it a 6-0 ball game. Brantley would ground into a force out at home plate. And Tucker, with a really deep fly out, that was an out. However, .830 expected batting average, 105.7 off the bat, and it just, that was, I'm not mad at Tucker for that. That was a really well-hit ball, and it really could have been. He also had a .430 batting average, or expected batting average on a ground out later in the game, and then there was another thing in the ninth that I'll get to later on, but fantastic ending by the Astros to plate 5 and make it 7-0, or 6-0, excuse me. Then in the bottom half, Valdez, man, you're just being mean at this point. It was a blowout, and he was just dropping in nasty curveballs against J.D. Davis to get him swinging out, or to swing and strike out. That was just nasty. Framber Valdang tonight was just nasty. He had a ton of swing and misses, especially on that curveball. Bregman also had a really, really nice play to end the inning in the third. In the fourth, Yordan Alvarez crushed one. 111.3 off the bat. 451 and a 1,000 expected batting average. 7-0 Astros. Yordan Alvarez, man, a absolute missile to center. In the fifth, a fantastic inning by Framber Valdang. Gets into some trouble. 1 on, first and third, or 2 on, first and third, excuse me. No outs. Gets a strikeout, and a ground out. A really, really nice inning by Framber Valdang. And again, he was in control, even when he seemingly was out of control like that. In the seventh, there was a fantastic barehanded play by Alex Bregman, who, he's not a Gold Glover or anything, but he can flash the leather out there occasionally. I guess in that was flashing the skin. Oh, God, I hate that is the word. Those are the words that my brain said. Moving past that as quickly as possible, in the eighth, Framber Valdang would exit with runner on, but 7 1/3. 1 run, 8 strikeouts, no walk baseball, 18 swings and misses, and 9 on the curveball alone. Framber Valdang, man. He has turned such a corner since 2019. You guys remember in 2019 when he pitched 70 innings, he had almost a 6 ERA? He was horrible. He was one of the worst pitchers on our staff. You guys remember that Framber Valdang? This Framber Valdang would spit in his face and kick him to the curb. Oh my goodness. Framber Valdang is just... He's become an ace. He was fantastic. Another fantastic game. I said the last game might be the best game he's ever pitched for Houston. This might be the new best one. No walks, 8 Ks, 18 swings and misses. Framber Valdang, man. Fantastic tonight. So he would leave with 1 runner on, and Oli Paredes would come in. He would walk the next guy on 5 pitches, but picks up a pair of strikeouts to get out of the inning. And the first guy to meet him in the dugout, Framber Valdang, hug and a nice little pat on the shoulder. Because above being just a fantastic pitcher, Framber Valdang is also seemingly a really cool person. Man. Oh, by the way, did you guys see that they all went to Niagara Falls over the weekend? That was pretty funny. Anyway, 9th inning. This was the last out of the 9th, and it was by Kyle Tucker. 406 feet deep, 105.1 off the bat, a 710 expected batting average, and it's a flyout. Because why not? I felt really bad for Kyle Tucker tonight. He got really unlucky on a lot. He had two outs that were over a 700 expected batting average. He had 3 that were 400 or more. Like that's just getting unlucky for Kyle Tucker. But man, oh man, oh man, what a game by the Astros. Oh, and Blake Taylor, I can get it right, I swear, came in the 9th to get us out of it. So, pitching lines for the evening. Framber Valdang, 7 1/3, 5 hits, 1 run, 0 walks, and 8 strikeouts, lowering his ERA to 1.47 on the year. Framber Valdang, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic. Oli Paredes, 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and a pair of strikeouts. Another pretty nice outing from Oli Paredes tonight. And Blake Taylor, even though he gave up the double, that was it. 1 inning of work, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a pair of strikeouts. So a very good night by him. Final thoughts. Obviously, the pitching was fantastic. Framber Valdang, maybe the best game of his career. Just absolute domination. And Oli Paredes had a really nice 2/3 of an inning. And Blake Taylor had a nice inning to finish it off. And then the offense, obviously an early explosion for them in the first 2 innings. Kind of simmered off from there. Yordan Alvarez was fantastic. He had a pair of RBIs, 1 for 3. A walk, so he was really, really good. And then the hit by pitch, obviously. Altuve over 3 isn't great, but 2 walks is pretty darn nice. Correa had a 3 for 5 night with 2 runs and 2 RBIs, so that's fantastic to see out of him. He might just be the best player on the planet over the last, 20 games or so. I think over the last 15, if it can load up really quickly. I'm trying to get the numbers for you right now, but it does not want to load, which really sucks. But it is well over a 400 on-base percentage. I think it's over 5, actually. Yeah, it's just not going to load for me, so thanks for leaving me hanging there, website. Thank you for that. But he has been just fantastic, which the upside of that is that Correa has been one of the best players in baseball over the past little bit of time, and the downside of that is he's been one of the best players in baseball over the last little bit of time, which means he is going to be able to, theoretically, in the offseason, ask for a crazy amount of money, especially with the way he's been recently. I think he said that he changed his leg kick a little bit, which could be a big part of this, which seemingly has been, because he's been just absolutely raking at the plate as of late, which for this season is very good to see. Sorry to talk so long about that one little thing, but I had to. Yuli had a very good night, 3 for 4 with a walk and an RBI. Yuli Gurriel, man, he's also on fire. He had a little bit of a down streak there for a bit, but he's back to raking. 333 average for him. Kyle Tucker, 1 for 5. 2 balls that had a well over 700 expected batting average, so I don't know. I'm not going to get mad at him. He got unlucky. I'm a Kyle Tucker suck-up, aren't I? I live a life of that. Anyway, so that was it for the game. Just a really good game. Obviously, I wasn't happy that the offense kind of went into a shell after the second inning, but given that they did so much and the pitching was so phenomenal after that, I'm not going to get too upset. But that was it. A great 7-1 win for the first game in Boston. The Astros are starting to heat up a little bit over the last few games, which is great to see. Tomorrow, we will be in Boston again, and we will have Jake Odorizzi on the mound, which you don't really know what you're getting with Jake Odorizzi, which is a little frightening. That is at 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central. and I'll be here after that. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Stros.